What's Comet the Superhorse's favorite city?
Oh, I don't know.
Philly. Welcome to the greatest DC comic show on YouTube, Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. We're so excited that you're here tonight. Day after Free Comic Book Day, which we'll be talking about in a little bit. Theme of the show tonight, reunited, and it feels so good. Signature King, who did you have lunch with 3 weeks ago today?
Who did I have lunch with 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago today? I don't know, man.
Oh, you forgot already,
It was
huh?
so awesome. It was so awesome. The food was okay, but the company was great.
Thank you. So Tony and I had the chance to hang out. We spent the entire day together at C2E2 in Chicago 3 weeks ago today. And I recognized you, even though you didn't have a crown on, you didn't have purple on. I still recognized you. And it was for me, and I kind of saved this until we had this. This is our first time kind of being together again after then, because, you know, your life hasn't been the same the last 3 weeks.
It hasn't.
And for me, it was just like we had been friends for a gazillion years. And we were just hanging out like our 1000th time hanging out. That's what it was like for me.
Yeah. I absolutely. I completely agree. It was interesting, being my first really any time really spent in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of nice to hang out with my family and do touristy stuff. And then when that was over, you just jump right into, nerd stuff with you. So 10 out of 10 would do again.
What did you think of C2E2 as a con?
There's a lot of things I think that they do right
Mm-hmm.
that some of the bigger cons that I attend could take advantage of. But there were some things that were pretty chaotic.
Okay.
Like sitting in the Denise Richards line for hours and hours, and I was so close. Not only could I see her, but I could hear her.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved like maybe 6 feet in just a few hours. So that was
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, it was crazy huge. When you
Yeah,
told
it
me
is.
how big it was, I didn't understand. But then when I saw it, I was like, my God.
It's like my hometown could fit in there.
Dude, I don't think my hometown could fit in there. I think my whole county
could fit in there, yeah. Yeah, and we're just talking like the main convention floor. Plus, there's the offshoot rooms where the panels are and the other stuff is going on. So, yeah, that place is huge.
There's a lot of stuff going on all at once too. So if you wanted to do like all of it, there's no way. Even if you had the 3-day pass, which I had, there's no way you could do it.
Yeah, I had done 3-day pass, and you definitely can feel like you saw more of it than just a day. But still, it's like, did you see everything? No.
Yeah, there's no way. There's some things that I wanted to do, but I had no time to do it. Zero.
Yeah, what I found again, and I had forgotten this because I had gone to C2E2 several times, but I haven't been since pre-COVID, so it's been a few years since I've gone. And what I've forgotten was it's easy to forget about things, even things that you're interested in, because once you're in that moment, it's kind of like, whoa, you know what's going on. Like I had thought at one point, maybe I'll cruise over, see what type of merchandise Chris Claremont has. When I was over in that area, that thought never crossed my mind. I didn't end up walking past him either. So that didn't help either. But it's stuff like that. I still had a fantastic time.
Yeah, there was, in terms of signatures, I mean, I was pretty successful. There's a few that I wanted to get. They were there repping specific booths. They didn't really set up an artist alley.
Yeah.
So it was tough to figure out who they were with and where that booth was. But once I figured out how to use the companion app to go with it, then it made more sense. And then I'm kicking myself. I didn't take the time to learn it sooner.
Yeah. So anything else about C2E2? I mean, you've already started showing some of your C2E2 haul. I've talked about it a little bit on my channel already. This upcoming week, I'll show some of the books that I bought when we were at Victory Comics at C2E2 at their little booth. I'm going to show some of those books. And then in the future, I'll have a huge video that will kind of tie back to C2E2, and we'll talk more in depth about that in the
As will
future.
I have
Yeah.
two big books.
2 big books. Okay, awesome.
2 big books. But yeah, without giving too much of yours away, I'm also very excited to see how you react to it.
Okay,
I'm
awesome.
And what's really funny is there were people that you didn't know and I didn't know who were also very excited.
Yes, we made friends.
Yeah, they were excited for you, and that I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that was cool.
I gotta watch what I say without trying to give it away, but that was a unique experience. I've never seen people like, well, I'm leaving, but I'm actually gonna stay because I want to see how.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in the future. So
that was really fun. That was really fun.
Right now, actually, we're going to get into live chat and say hey to them in just 1 second. First, I'll skip ahead, though, and say that Christina's sad that she missed Dean Cain at Fan Expo. Anytime you miss Superman, it's sad. Any Superman. Yeah. So after C2E2, then it was Easter. So obviously we didn't have a show on the 13th because we were spring breaking together. Then the week after was Easter, so we didn't have a show those 2 weeks. And then last Sunday, you still had a little bit too much of me in your system, so you decided that you couldn't do this, and you went on vacation. Let me ask you this question, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You like Mick Mouse?
Do I like what?
Mick Mouse?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You like Mick Mouse?
I'm more of a Chip and Dale guy.
Oh, the dancers?
No, not Chip and Dale's.
Oh, okay.
Chip and Dale.
Oh, okay.
The Rescue Rangers.
Gotcha.
And I'm sad I didn't get to see them. They weren't around.
You had a good vacation?
Yeah.
Kids had a good time?
Kids had a wonderful time. They were more fascinated with the pool than anything else. Of course, they got excited for princesses, but, at one point, my kids were like, can we go back to the hotel and swim in the pool? Like, we stayed on, at Disney World. We got, this, to me, it was a fancy resort. And the pool was, super close. I could hear the kids splashing while I was laying in bed because the pool didn't close at 11:30. But that's all I wanted to do was swim. I was like, we could have just stayed home.
Yeah.
Just paid someone to dress up like a princess and walk by.
So, Silver Hair Bronze Age Babe asked me last week what I thought your favorite ride at Disney would be. And I instantly gave an answer. I'll ask you, what is your favorite ride at Disney? And I'll see if I had it right.
Favorite ride at Disney or favorite ride that we did? Because those might be 2 different answers.
How about both?
Favorite ride of all time. Let me back up. Favorite ride that I did was, I don't recall the name of the character, but it was some kind of log ride where you go up and you come down and you splash a bunch of times, and you go do that 3 or 4 times. That was pretty fun watching my daughter enjoy that. So that was my favorite ride that we took. Favorite ride of all time, because this is my second trip to Disney, first one with kids, is what I have to say. I don't know if it's still there anymore. I didn't see it. Was the Aerosmith roller coaster?
Okay,
that was pretty cool. The Tron bikes. Yeah, it was 80-minute wait.
Wow.
Tron bikes. So I said, no, thank you.
I said it. I said your answer. I said teacups.
We went on the teacups.
I see. I knew you did.
We went on the teacups. It's classic Disney. You got to go on the teacups. And my kids have been on similar rides, but not necessarily the teacups. And I just kind of sit back and just let them figure out how to do the thing. I'm like, Dad, you do it. I'm tired. I'm like, okay, you want to see that? I went too far. They were laughing. I knew something was up. My eldest was laughing and laughing. All of a sudden, she just got quiet. Nothing happened, luckily, but
that's good.
I decided that no thanks.
That's nice. That's a nice little perk.
Yeah, I did the veteran thing too. It was really fun. When I was in the Army, I got 5 free days at Disney. My hopper passes. The only thing I had to pay for was my resort.
Okay.
So I was like, sweet.
Well, let's say hi to the chat on this Star Wars Day. Happy Star Wars Day, and may the 4th be with you, Christina Payne, a great moderator and friend to all of us. We're so happy that you're here. Already dropping Signature King's link. Make sure to sub up. Let's say hello to Kenneth Bird. It's always great seeing Kenneth. It's not a show unless Kenneth's here, I always say. He's one of our great friends in the community.
Absolutely.
So that's who's here with us now. If you're watching on the rewind, we appreciate you being here with us for tonight's show. So this is just a touch off topic, but I mean, I'm going to throw it out here. My channel's doing very well. I don't know if you noticed or not.
I have. What are you, 917?
Is it 17? I thought it was 16.
17.
Oh,
last I looked, it was 17.
Okay, then I've gotten one that I wasn't. Let me refresh because mine says 916. 917. I've gotten another one. Cool. And there's been a lot of people in the community that have been helping me out, and I sincerely appreciate it. It's fun to start thinking about 1K parties and stuff like that.
Yeah. What what's you had a big surge recently. I think you're up 100 subscribers.
I went from the 860s.
860s, okay.
And literally, it was in one day. I went from 860 to like 912 in one day.
Isn't that weird when that happens?
But I already know where to attribute that to. I've already
okay.
I know what that is. So, and it's nothing. It's nothing so much that I did as a great friend of ours in the community did, Cliff, who's been on our show before.
Absolutely.
And I said for my birthday, I wanted subscribers to my channel, and I thought, saying that maybe I'd get 10. Well, Cliff took it to a different level. And
what did he do? Did he?
He shouted me out on a show, and a show that I'm not as familiar with, and I got a whole bunch of new subscribers. So silver hair, Bronze Age babe, not camera ready, but beloved by us anyway. And he rode the teacups. If you watch the rewind, he rode the teacups.
Listen, I'm never camera ready.
Yeah, I'm not either, but I still do it. So, yeah. So, and there's been other people too, other community members since that have been pushing my channel. You know, including John's Comics with Kids is one, and Burke. You know, our friend Steve Burke family.
Yes.
Who's been on the show recently too. So, and more. So, thank you all. Teacup Man. By the way, Tony, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we obviously, the brainwashing on the silver hair Bronze Age babe has been working. She put out a video yesterday. She's been buying foil. She's been buying facsimiles. She always buys those, though. She's been making another diorama.
Oh.
Yes.
She's quite the busy gal.
She is. So
well, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah. How was your free comic book day yesterday?
Wonderful. Took the time to take my eldest daughter with me, and she likes to go. I don't know if we talked about this when we were at C2E2, but I got Jenny Frizen to sign her comic book art folio.
Yeah.
Book of posters. I got her to sign that, and I gave it to my LCS. Nice. And they are doing a raffle. If you went to Free Comic Book Day, they're doing some kind of big raffle for that. So it was kind of
that was cool.
Yeah, them to incorporate that to Free Comic Book Day. But yeah, of course, we got the only worth DC book really they picked up.
Flip it over. There you go. Look at that magic.
Yeah, and it's like Kazaa. Yeah. But interesting comic book day. They did a huge, massive sale that I wish that I had the time to pick through. I had to just glance at the back issues, and it caught my eye. I grabbed it, but it was insane. It was like 60% off.
Wow.
And plus, I have $60 or $70 in store credit that's just sitting there.
Wow, that's great.
So I think for Father's Day, I'm going to ask that Saturday I get left alone, and I'm just going to spend way too much time and money at the comic book store.
think that sounds like fun. I did not realize there was a Jumpa themed free comic book from DC
There
yesterday.
was, but I thought it was mostly geared for like kids.
It is. And maybe if I saw it, that's why I didn't register. But since Jumpa is Wonder Woman associated, I'm going to shoot an email out because I didn't go to my normal LCS yesterday. I'll shoot them an email, see if they have one left over for me. So,
if not, let me know. I'm sure my LCS has a stack. They always got.
Cool.
They've had free comic books from like 5 free comic book days ago.
Okay. And then where I went, they had 50% off back issues, and their back issues are always changing. Like always. 50% off back issues, 25% off everything else in the store.
Yeah, similar. One thing that they like to do is like their ratio incentives that they get, they put them in a box kind of separate from everything else. Everything was cover price on the
nice.
Big ratio variants. So
that's
if
nice.
it was like $25, but the cover said $3, you're getting it for $3.
That's pretty awesome. You can't beat that, can you?
That's one thing that I wish I just had the time to grab. I only grabbed one back issue.
Oh, nice.
Luckily, it was like right up front.
Okay.
So I was walking by and I was like, "Oh, that's Shazam #1. Yeah, let me snag it."
Cool. I guess we should segue into the news portion. We'll talk more about Free Comic Book Day in just a little bit, but I think when we look at the news, probably the big story we have is comic book artist Jackson Butch. Is it Guice? 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 I apologize for not pronouncing that correct. He passed away at the age of 63. So that was announced earlier this past week. He was the artist on Action Comics during the death of Superman, which of course had worldwide media attention.
Oh, man.
So 63. Apparently they didn't disclose cause of death, but they said he had been battling an illness for quite some time. So it was sad to see that. Lots of tributes coming in, not only about his work, but what a great guy he was to work with, they're saying. So our condolences to his family and friends.
Absolutely. It's a shame.
Yeah.
And some of these legends, they're not getting any younger.
Yeah, that's for sure. News-wise, Silver Hair Bronze Age Babe also bought that big 11x17 Batman.
Nice.
And that is coming out in a second print. Batman 158 Giant Special Edition second print will have a recolored cover. That will be, FOC is tomorrow on that. So final order cutoff is tomorrow. It's going to be coming out at the end of this month, the same day that Batman 160, which is the third chapter in the second Hush storyline, comes out, also in that size as well. So it looks like these 11x17s are kind of here to stay.
I hope they do more of those just because they're fun and, they're bulky and take up too much space.
Yeah. Incidentally, Tony, since I'm talking about tomorrow's FOC, tomorrow is FOC on the Superman versus Shazam facsimile treasury, including a foil cover. Just saying. I know you like your foil.
And that's a good story that I like, and I've gotten a couple different versions of that, and I think I showed one off here on the Fanboys. So I don't know. Do I want to go for the Triple Crown or not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So while you're deciding if you want to, segue on over to Wendy's, they have some DC Comics heroes again as part of their kids' toy. And Tony, you might be interested in Wave 3.
Okay.
So first I'll talk about what characters are in each wave. Wave 1, well, you might be interested in Wave 1 as well. Wave 1 is Robin, Batman, and Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn?
I'm good.
Wave 2 is Black Lightning, Wonder Woman, and Artemis.
Okay, very
and
cool.
Your boy is already secured Wave 2 in gold. Wave 3, Mary Marvel. Does that surprise you?
It does.
Mary Marvel, Shazam, and Black Adam.
Oh.
Wave 4 is Beast Boy, Raven, and Slate Wilson, Deathstroke. Wave 5 is Blue Beetle, John Stewart, Green Lantern, and Star Sapphire. Wave 6 is Zatanna, Martian Manhunter, and Amazo. And then there are 3 mystery figures, which we don't know who they are. And so what it essentially is, it's these little figures, and like this is the Black Lightning one. And then you could get it in gold, and then the same mold in red, and the same mold in purple or whatever. And then they each come with like little teeny tiny, I'm out of focus. They come with like little teeny tiny trading cards. So there's Wonder Woman, there's Black Lightning, and there's Artemis. Signature, are you having technical difficulties? I think he is. So I'll say hi to Dio Wolf Comics. How you doing there? Hope you're doing well. Tony, can you hear us? I don't think Tony can.
Oh, time out.
Okay. We can hear you. So news-wise, that's about all that I know that's going on. I send a little message to Tony there.
Oh, maybe not. Okay. Oh, because I got to change it in SteamYard. Okay. Let's see. Right here. Marco.
Polo.
There it is. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Bluetooth.
Okay. Oh, okay. So do you have any other news?
I do. Sergeant Rock.
Tell me. Oh, yeah.
Canceled.
Yes, they couldn't find the right person to play him, right?
No, they picked Colin Farrell.
Yeah, but then Colin
I don't know
Farrell
why
said
it
no.
was canceled. Yeah. Oh, did he? Okay. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess they said no, thank you. So that's weird.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting movie because they could have done a lot of the GI Robot in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a
I like
way.
GI
I think.
Robot.
Yeah, me too. I think that's a good way they could have brought him in. Because they want to bring anyone who's been in the animated series into the movie. So I think that would have been a good way to do that. But yeah. Shame. Who knows? Maybe they'll bring it back at some capacity.
Yeah. Anything else news-wise?
That's really it.
Okay.
Kind of quiet. I was kind of watching it while I was out of town, but nothing really popped up.
Yeah, nothing too huge.
Yeah, but we are getting close to July. So we're 2 months away from Superman movie.
Yeah.
So
which is why I think we've been doing a lot of Superman related stuff on the Retro Review.
Yes. One, because for some reason the algorithm absolutely loves it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And two, at any moment, they're going to start really amping up marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I think then we're going to start to see a lot of news.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Very cool. I am too. I hope it's good. July will be such a big month because we're going to get Superman, and then on the Marvel side, Fantastic Four in the same month. So
that's right. I did see Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Did you enjoy?
It was fun. It was a fun movie. I can see why it got so many good reviews. It worked. The story was easy to flow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a fun movie. I can see why it's doing, critically it's doing very well. It's not trying to do too much. But I recommend it. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. So we're going to segue over into our retro review right now. And Tony, you picked out the retro review tonight. And when we get done with our retro review, we have kind of like a little surprise. It's not the first time we've done it, but it's rare that we do what we're going to do tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. It's worth hanging around for. So Tony, tell us about what you picked for the retro review, and you're going to do our first review tonight on which story that you picked.
Yes. Yes. So we are, obviously it was a free comic book day. So in celebration of free comic book day, we decided to now, we're going to look back on previous free comic book days. So I went with the um, uh, free comic book day version of King Shark,
Okay.
Suicide Squad. So yeah, obviously the reason I did it, I chose that because obviously it was free comic book day. Something I really enjoy, and I've been kind of collecting a lot of the limited edition comic book day stuff that comes out with it. So that part's been pretty cool. Um, but yeah, it's always I really enjoy the free previews, and the reason I chose this one will be apparent later, but I couldn't find the online version, so I'm gonna have to do this with the actual physical book.
Okay.
But so you have to bear with me. So it starts off in Bloodhaven, somewhere right here. Oh, that's
Oh,
a
we don't
big,
want that.
that's a big lasso.
Nobody wants that. Let's go back.
Maybe.
Almost. There we go.
There it is. Okay. Yeah. So here is it starts off in Bloodhaven. We're talking about King Shark here. So we cut back to Belle Rive Penitentiary, and the Suicide Squad is there, and they're talking about mission, and they're getting ready. And here's lonely old King Shark, and he's sitting at the table eating his dinner. And then a character whose name escapes me is eating canned beets, and they're like, "Hey, King Shark, what are you eating?" Or they call him the that way. He's like, "Oh, just a bowl of mackerel. A bowl of mackerel. Sounds like macaroni." But it turns out that it's not made the correct way. So he throws a King Shark temper tantrum. Of course. um, but some other guy, what is it? I forget his name too. He's a big lava guy, and he's beating up one of his few people that he likes in the prison. But you can see at the end there's a big blood splatter. Oh, you found it. Okay, perfect.
Yep, I found it.
Okay, perfect. So on the next page, you'll see that it was actually King Shark that did it. I think you're going backwards. Yeah, you're going backwards. Oh, no, you're going forwards. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're seeing it one page at a time. Okay. So it might not be in order. Yeah. So if we scroll down a little, there we go. We have King Shark was the one who, took care of the threat. And then we cut to Task Force X main office. We have Amanda Waller, and she's talking about the mission, and she's talking about King Shark, and she says, "Tell me everything you know about King Shark." Or I guess she calls him, Shark King. But anyway, yeah, they go into a brief history of Nanawe and King Shark, half man, half god. I don't know about you, but I kind of like Hammerhead King Shark the best. He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's cool.
I don't know why. I kind of like him. They talk about his first appearance and his run with Superboy and his history with Task Force X, and they said, "Great, you're going on mission with King Shark, and yeah, have fun." So we cut to the Rapid Bay, 400 feet above Rapid Bay, and they kind of just jump them or toss them off the off spree and right into the water, and they're immediately surrounded by sharks. But King Shark's kind of a shark, and he has to like prove himself to these other sharks. And this is the part where when I first read the story, it was a little bit confusing. Like, is he talking to these other sharks? And it turns out that yeah, he is talking to these other sharks. And the part that I found the most confusing is that shark in particular on the screen obviously has fins, right?
Mm-hmm.
No hands, no nothing. But later on in the story, we're talking to King Shark. He's talking to the other sharks, and he's trying to tell them like, "Listen, I'm the descendant of the god shark. You're going to do as I say, and I need your help for this mission." And on the last panel, all of a sudden, he's got arms.
Yeah, I see that.
But yeah, or no, that's Orca. That's Orca,
Mm-hmm.
the whale man. Okay, never
Whale
mind.
woman.
Yeah, whale woman. Whale woman. Yeah, it does say whale woman. Interesting. So, I got this particular copy here, signed by Scott Collins. Scott Collins, right there.
Cool.
So, very nice.
Yeah. So one thing to keep in mind with these free comic book day books, they don't give you the full story.
Yeah.
Essentially, they're just teasers. They're little previews / teasers in hopes that they've hooked you enough that you will buy the fourth. And these come in advance of the book's release.
Yeah. Usually about a month or two.
Yeah.
Sometimes longer. I think this current one, this free comic book day version, this one of the stories they talk about, I think it comes out until July.
Yeah.
So that's quite a ways away.
Yeah. So if you want to pull up the assist for mine, I chose free comic book day from, I think it was 2023, and I did the Night Terrors one. And this is one that I had in my personal collection. I thought that the cover alone was so good for it. And just based on that reason, I hadn't reread it in a while too. And I thought, well, this might be a fun one tonight to go. So there's a regular cover. They did one of those foil, like Virgin variants for this too as an exclusive. I don't have that, but I have this regular one, and I think it's pretty awesome. So as we get started in the story, it's a long night in Gotham, and it's Robin that is talking. And he's like, okay, while Dad, meaning Batman, takes Firefly and Killer Moth to Arkham, I have to remember to investigate whether they had a getaway driver, but first I need a quick little power nap. And as he naps, he starts to dream, and he's on the beach on Lazarus Island before it was destroyed. And Mom and Dad are sitting there, and he talks about his memories from the time in this island, while incidentally, someone that is trying to claim to be his father is expressing his disappointment in Robin and Damian. And they keep going on, and he sees a whole barrage of how he's trying to be convinced that the true heroes like Wonder Woman and the Teen Titans and so on and so forth are really the enemies. And he realizes right away that this is not truth. And he wants to know who is trying to forge this attack on him. You know, who's trying to make him believe these type of things. And then he ends up saying, well, on that panel right there, seeing is believing. You know, he's in control. This isn't real. And then he wakes up screaming in his bed. And Batman has walked in, and he's like, and he's trying to wake him up. He's like, hey, you just had a bad dream. And he says, well, it was a nightmare, you know, a voice unlike anything I've ever heard. They're telling me that my friends are monsters, and their eyes, they haunt me. And his father, Batman, saying it's all going to be okay. And then he looks at him, and he realizes when he says, I'll make sure you never sleep again, he has those same crazy eyes. And he instantly attacks him. And he's like, hey, father knows best. And he's like, trying to take the form of my father doesn't scare me. So he realizes he's had a dream within a dream, in kind of an inception moment. He's like, you know, I'll prove to you that I have no issues fighting Batman if I must, but I know this isn't real, and I know I have to wake up. And he does wake up all of a sudden. And he's on a rooftop on Gotham, and Batman's asking if he's okay, and he wants to know where they are. And he says, well, we just caught Firefly and Killer Moth, and you passed out for a moment. And they even the villains add in, Killer Moth adds in, yeah, we were worried about you, kid. And he's like, oh, what? I thought that you had already taken them, and there was this dream, and sometimes I don't remember all of it. And he's like, well, dreams do that sometimes, Robin. We've probably been pushing you too hard with everything that's happened to you, to us. We just need some rest. And he's like, well, you worry too much, father. You know, it was just a dream. And they start to take off. And it's noted there that they are being watched with those eyes in the storm as they take off. And that is the ending to this little preview for Free Comic Book Day for the Night Terrors back in 2023.
Very cool.
Yeah. So now, since these reviews go so fast, and that's been a retro review tonight, I said that we got like a little surprise, something that we've done in the past, but not very often. And we're going to do it again tonight. DC's main Free Comic Book Day book is for All In. And it just came out yesterday. Now, there were some shops that gave their books out ahead of time that they weren't supposed to do, but I mean, it's been out there. If you want to pull up the assist, Tony, we're going to present that to you. We won't call it a retro review. We'll call it a recent review. And there's 2 different stories in it, as Tony showed earlier. It's a flip book. And you can take off with the story about Superman.
Yeah, so this one, as I was thumbing through it, it starts off as a feel-good story. So, we start off with the Daily Planet, and they're kind of, talking about Superman and Clark. I got to stop here for a second. Some of this art looks really silly to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. It looks too cartoonish, if that makes
sense. I understand.
I know that's a weird thing to say about a comic book, but it is. Yeah, so they're talking about, Superman, and Clark Kent's like, hey, man, he's just doing his job. But yeah, so he starts off here by backing up the police and catching some bad guys shooting guns and causing a muck. And he's able to detain them. And he actually wraps them, in my opinion, kind of doing the police a disservice in a guardrail, because they got to cut that.
Yeah.
They got to get him out of there.
Yeah.
So as Superman's flying off, he hears someone yelling for help, and a little boy has fallen into a lion exhibit at the zoo, and Superman is able to hold back the lion and help the little boy, which is great. But wouldn't it be easier just to grab the little boy real quick instead of fight the lion? Whatever. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, all of a sudden there's a plane crashing, and he's able to save them. He's putting out a fire, saving a boat from sinking. And then he hears a girl singing in the park, slips her some money, and says, hey, I hear every song ever in existence, and yours is really good. Keep it up. And he flies to the watchtower, and they say, hey, there's a comet coming, or asteroid or something. And it's made out of pure, and this is the word I struggle with, inertron. I'm not sure what mineral that's made out of, but Superman's like, easy, can handle it. So he goes to the asteroid and he says, okay, I'm here. Let's take it down. You're going down with me, little asteroid. Well, it turns out as he flies into it, it's made out of solid kryptonite.
Oops.
Yeah, so big mistake. So Superman kind of got too eager to take care of it. So
yeah, and all of this will be continued in the new Superman Unlimited ongoing series, starting with issue 1. So this was our preview of that upcoming book.
Yeah.
But DC wasn't done, because you flip over and you get a second one, which is kind of focused on their absolute universe. And I'll tackle that. And you're getting this narrator who you're trying to suspect who it is, and it gets revealed at the end. But we start out in Gotham City with this narrator talking about his whole life. He's felt like he's never belonged. He's always been an outsider looking in. But now there's time for a connection. And there's people out there that have powers like he does. And we see him kind of floating up a little bit from this puddle. And there's the absolute Batman that's chasing a villain. Nothing is as simple as it is on the surface. If you know where to look, you'll find another world just beneath, a world filled with secrets. So there's absolute Batman that's pummeling this guy and beating the daylights out of him. He says the bat waited, the bat was patient. I can learn from that. And Batman realizes for a second that he might be watched. So he turns around to look, and he's gone because he doesn't want his existence to be known yet. So we cut over now, and we see this reflection of this character in glass in Smallville. And he's talking about the alien. And he says, I've learned the forces that try to control us and forces that try to liberate us are often the same, neither knowing which side they're really fighting for. And there's Superman that's arrived. He also says, I've learned I'm not the only outsider who sees the truth. So Superman is trying to be stopped by these people, these essentially powered up guards, so to speak. Well, they're more than guards, but they're trying to stop him. It's not working. He plows right through them. So this guy instantly walks through the general store. Our narrator of the story walks through the general store in Smallville. These are men who try to be monsters, and there are aliens who try to be men, but now there's something else out there too. We cut over to Gateway City, where his reflection is shown in the blade for Absolute Wonder Woman. She's kind of being attacked by, I don't know if those are nanobites or what they are, this technology that's trying to grasp a hold of her and take her down. And like a warrior, she's facing it head on, and she's getting rid of it. She's destroying it. The narrator goes on to say, I didn't always see things so clearly. She moves with the confidence of someone who has always known they were meant for more. Though our journeys look very different, I can relate. And we see that he's walking through the glass window of a diner there in Gateway City at the end. And there's all these different reflections on the next page of all these different places and maybe worlds and stuff. There's a Green Lantern is alluded to. We've got, an Absolute Flash. People are thinking that might be Jim Corrigan smoking the cigarette in one of those too. But he's going through this mirror, and he says, for the first time in my life, I can see a way out. I nearly have it now, fragment by fragment. I've been piecing it all together. Soon I'll have the whole picture. Then he comes to this great image, this spread of like this board that he's put together, and lots of Easter eggs looking at this board too. And he's starting to get what the meaning of things is, and that idea reflects back to him, and he says, it stared back at me. And there is his reflection, but this time he's dressed as Mirror Master, saying, well, look what we have here. It's a brave new world, eh? So what do you say? I'll show you mine if you show me yours. To be continued summer 2025. So Mirror Master apparently is going to be a big deal in this Absolute world.
Yeah. Very interesting concept.
Yeah. So thoughts and grades and things about the stories we read tonight.
I like the free previews. It's tough to pick out of the two which one I would get. I'm probably gonna end up getting both anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think they both look good. What are your thoughts on? I'm going to answer your question with a question. How big is Free Comic Book Day in your area?
I'd say it's definitely big. I mean, especially where I went, and I went to the same location last year for Free Comic Book Day. I mean, they were packed from open to close. So it's big. It's a big deal. It draws a lot of people in. The question that I don't know is, do these new people come back? Did they get hooked by what they've gotten for free and come back?
Who knows?
I mean, that's the goal of the day. So
get some new readers.
And there definitely was, with the Diamond bankruptcy issue, thoughts of, would this even happen this year? And I think everyone thought that it was going to happen in some way, shape, or form, but I didn't really feel any disruption between Diamond not being involved in this.
Yeah, I forgot all about that, to be honest with you. That's a good point. I mean, maybe they already had stuff lined up for this Free Comic Book Day. I think the next one is probably going to be the one really in question.
Sure. Berdazzle, how are you?
Hello. But yeah, we'll see. I guess if they can pull it off for next year, we should be fine. Didn't somebody recently buy Diamond?
They did. There was drama with that too, because it seems like Diamond and drama go together.
Oh, what's the drama? Out of curiosity. The quick version.
I mean, the quick version is, and don't quote me 100% on everything, but someone was saying that it was an unfair bid who got it, and there was some type of drama in the bidding process or who was awarded it, and Diamond did something that looked a little shady, apparently. So there you go.
Fair enough. I'll have to keep an eye on it. Fun. But yeah, your quick thoughts on these stories.
They're fun. I mean, the King Shark one was good. It's nice to see a character like that who hasn't always been so much a main focus until the last couple years. That's fun to see him put in the spotlight. I almost wish for Free Comic Book Day they'd just give you a full story, you know? Hey, Bobby Delgado is here. I'm going to be talking about Bobby in before the stream's over with. Just in my book show portion, I'm going to be talking about him. So, it would be nice if they would give you like a complete free story, but I get it. I mean, yeah, it's a free book, but it's really to get you to buy another book. You know, I mean,
yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope they continue with the tradition with Free Comic Book Day. It seems like every last couple of years, every time there is one, my LCS just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
What I love more about Free Comic Book Day than the free comic books are the sales that go with it. Like every store does a sale to go with it, and that's good. What I like.
I like it because my LCS uses it to just like purge the back issues. Because like you said with yours, mine gets a pretty steady flow.
Yeah.
And my store has 2 locations, so they kind of just like mix and match back issues just to, if something isn't moving at one, maybe someone else the other one will pick it up. But yeah, I really enjoy the sales too.
Nice.
And my LCS, their sale also applied to supplies.
The one I went to was 50% off back issues, wall books, and anything else in the store, supplies, poster, whatever, 25% off. And that even went for new issues. So that's a good sale.
Yeah. That is one hell of a sale.
Yeah. So there we go. I will say for the new free, let's specifically talk about this year's Free Comic Book Day. What did you think of those 2 stories? I actually thought they both did well. But I thought maybe the Absolute one shined a little bit more, and I wasn't expecting Mirror Master to be such a big player.
Yeah, for yours, you're right. That's interesting that they would have Mirror Master as a big bad, villain.
Yeah.
Or maybe not necessarily the big bad, but who knows? Maybe he could be the big bad for the whole story, or maybe big bad for a few issues. But it's every time they do Mirror Master stuff in DC, it's always very unique the way they use him. Especially if you have read the Injustice series, Mirror Master obviously was no fan of the regime, so they kind of use him to trap Superman. It doesn't go well, but
I like Mirror Master. I think he's a great character.
I forget that they brought him on the Flash TV show.
Yeah, they did.
Very briefly, I remember, but yeah, he's a nice Mirror Master. But yeah, we'll see. As for the Superman one, I got to admit, the whole kryptonite thing is a little overplayed. But this is unique because it's a solid kryptonite asteroid. So I don't know how many heroes would be able to tackle something like this. Probably Martian Manhunter would be my next guess, but or maybe Zatanna. She can transport it to another dimension, or the Shazam family. Who knows? But we'll see where they go. But yeah, I looking forward to both of those stories.
Nice. Yeah. Very cool. And I thought they did a good job on the Absolute one, pumping up that universe, which is so much different. So I like that they gave a little bit to the Trinity and then, kind of established Mirror Master at the same time, and all those Easter eggs they threw in there. So yeah, it was a fun pick tonight.
It was.
Yeah. So we'll move on now to kind of our book show portion and talking about our channel. You can go first, Tony.
Yeah, so on the channel, we have some shorts this week, and on Wednesday, we have the last of the 3 videos showing off my big CBCS haul. I got the last stack right here, ready to go. So
I've been watching them.
It was fun to do it, but now that I got them back, I'm like, where the heck am I supposed to put these? I got like this cool little spinner rack.
Yep.
But where I put it, so it's out of the way, I can't spin it very well. So, and my thought was to put them in here, but then you couldn't see like 20 some books, so it doesn't really help. We'll figure something out. But yeah, so I'm going to show off the last haul for that. Like I said, more shorts, but another video, probably going to tease it way in advance, is my 2 books from the C2E2 event will be coming in sometime. That's going to be a lot of fun. Very much looking forward to that. But as for a book show, so I reviewed the King Shark. So here's the free comic book day. This one is signed. I also have the which one is this? This is the A cover signed.
Nice.
I also have the Walmart exclusive cover signed,
Nice.
which is stupid because the only thing they changed was the color of the font.
Yeah.
That was it. That's the only thing that's different. Everything else is the same. And last but not least, in our cool King Shark run is the free comic book day foil exclusive, also signed.
Nice.
And I came back at 9.8. This is part of the big CBCS order. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, I like it. Wasn't expecting a 9.8, so I'll take it. And speaking of free comic book day and our retro review tonight, this is the story that you reviewed.
Yep.
I also got this signed at C2E2 by Dustin Nagan and Jeremy Hahn. This one along the side here in silver is Jeremy Hahn, Dustin Nagan across the top. But yeah, so lots of one more book show for tonight. I also got the super cool foil for free comic book day. So we have the cool side by side here. So
nice,
very nice indeed.
Yep. Shabab got the foil.
Oh, did she? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was I think it was like $10 for the foil, but
okay.
I was like, man, I got every single foil they put out in the last 5 years. I can't stop now.
Yeah.
But yeah, free comic book day goodness all up in here.
Sounds that way. So I'll talk about my channel right now, and I'll start out with what's currently on my channel. And there is a back issue of the week YouTube short, which celebrates Star Wars Day, which is actually going on today. So that's currently on my channel. Then I did a birthday haul from some things that I received for my birthday. And that's my comic book editions video, which is currently on my channel. To come on my channel, yesterday I received an AOK from Bobby Delaghetto. And that's what I'm unboxing from that gentleman right there on Tuesday afternoon's video, the comic book editions video that will be dropping. There's a back issue of the week YouTube short dropping tomorrow. To tell the truth, I haven't actually filmed it yet. But I think I have an idea. I'm going to tie it in with Cinco de Mayo for tomorrow, right, and DC Comics. So that's probably what I'm planning on. Hey, Rod, hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. And then for a book show, I mean, we've shown it, and we've literally shown it, but I have to show my proof that yes, I did get one too. I didn't get the foil, but I did get one. And then for book show, I was talking about a birthday haul. How about, I love my foreign edition comic books that have different covers than the US. And this came from Mr. Fridge Art, and this is Norwegian.
That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't even know this existed. So I think he found that at a comic show in his area.
That's awesome. Yeah, my time in Europe, one thing I'm always kicking myself is I never went to an LCS.
Yeah.
Over there. That'd be nice. But that's cool, man. Norwegian. I don't have any Norwegian.
I don't think I had any Norwegian either, so that was pretty cool. I thought at first it was German, but no, it's Norwegian. So, and that's from like 83, I think, 1983.
So I have combined foils and foreign covers.
Oh, nice.
This is the DC Rebirth. It's the German limited foil edition.
That's from Panini.
Yeah, limited to 777 copies.
Better than 666.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have got that. 666. Like, You just stay out of my collection.
Yeah. So, anything coming up this week? Anything that you're looking forward to?
Man, so much. There's con season is in full bloom. A lot of local cons are starting to add some talent, so I'm keeping an eye out on them. I have quite the dilemma this year. There's 2 cons that I really want to attend, and they're at the same time.
Time to clone yourself.
But one maybe has the slight edge because they have. I can't go into details of who it is because it'll ruin something else. But they have a guest that a signature I might get, and if I get it, it'll complete.
Then that's where you need to go. Then
a special book.
That's where you need to go. Then
I agree. If as it stands right now, that's where I have to go. But the con that I might skip this year has a tendency to pull out like some big name, absolute, literally last possible minute. So it'll come down.
Yeah. I want to say hi to Super Russ who popped by, and our agents are already in negotiations with Russ's agent to get him on the show in the very near future. So
your people are talking to his people?
Yes, we are. So one thing, and I should have probably covered this in news, but I forgot. I'm just going to cover it now. There is another wave of DC comics that are showing up at Dollar Tree stores. Remember when they did a whole bunch of those?
I got a bunch, yeah.
Well, now there's a whole new wave of titles, including Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, issue 1. Superman, Wonder Woman, issue 1 is showing up in there. And I mean, like 20 some titles, I think. Different titles. There's a new wave of them out there. So if you're into collecting those new printings of those titles, it's available. And I have a hard time finding those, but I definitely want to get the Superman and Wonder Woman, which I think is the only Wonder Woman oriented one outside of her appearance in some Justice League titles. And I wouldn't mind the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Do you have any of those Dollar Trees around you?
I do. I have the stores around me. They just don't carry the comic books.
I have 2 Dollar Trees super close to me, less than 5 minutes apart. And they both carry the comic books. So
there's one that's on my way to my LCS where I found these at. I'm going to stop by there because they had the big display and everything too. So I'm guessing they probably got those back. But I'll check in and see if
I didn't know there was another wave. So I have to make a.
Yeah, there is a new wave, and there's a lot of books in them. So.
Well,
and you know that
money,
my dollar store, which was $1.25, is now $1.75 for everything.
Shame. It's because they're all printed in Canada. I didn't know that. I had no clue. But I mean, I'd rather have $1.75 than $7.50.
Yeah, I agree with you. So agree with you completely. Let's cover 2 more minutes on the show, and then we'll end right on the hour mark. So what do you want to talk about for 2 minutes?
Oh man, there's so much to talk about. Let's see. Everybody put a capital S in the chat if you're going to see the Superman movie when it comes out. I know that I am, so I'm going to go ahead and put my capital S in here. I think I might go see it in IMAX.
Nice.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
I think I learned it, and please forgive me if I'm wrong on this. I think this is how you sign Superman. Wait.
Like, oh, you mean like American Sign Language?
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's how you sign Superman.
Oh, very cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I believe I'm correct on that. I just learned that the other day, and I just kind of pulled this out of the... Oh, man.
You know what? I probably will see Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to see that, too.
That's probably true.
I'm just going to sit in the theater and watch Superman until FF drops, and then I'll just move over to that theater.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
I'll probably do it again.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So make sure to subscribe to everyone that's in the chat. Links to our channels are in the chat as well. I should also mention, too, we just got done doing the book show. And you can share a cover with us on Instagram, kind of your own version of the book show. Just use the hashtag Fanboys Live and the Retro Review so we can make sure to find it. So that would be pretty awesome. 30 seconds, Tony.
Shazam.
Shazam. This concludes another one of the greatest DC Comics show on YouTube, Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. We will be back again next Sunday night, same bat time, same bat channel, with more fun and shenanigans. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for a great live chat that was here. Have a happy, healthy, safe, and successful week. Until we visit again, bye.